From the one and only, this is a Local 10 News Update, sponsored by FHIA, Florida Home Improvement Associates.
I'm Samantha Bryan. Here's a look at stories making news on this Thursday. A man is being treated at Ryder Trauma Center after he was shot several times in Northwest Miami-Dade. This morning, his aunt tells Local 10 that it began when his nephew was robbed at JS Food Market on the corner of Northwest 17th Avenue and 76th Street. She says despite his injuries, the victim is expected to recover. 2 people are taken to the hospital after a Christmas night crash in Coconut Creek. Fire rescue crews were called to the 4200 block of Sample Road about 10:30 on Wednesday night. They found 2 cars heavily damaged. One person was taken to the hospital for evaluation and another victim was transported as a level 2 trauma. No word on how the crash happened. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a violent wreck in Margate early Christmas morning that's killed 2 people. The victims, 24-year-old Craig Williams and his girlfriend, 19-year-old Rihanna Lubin. They were both traveling on Royal Palm Boulevard near State Road 7 when they hit a tree. The impact so hard that the car bursted into flames and pieces. Now the victims were ejected from the car and died at the scene. Investigators believe that speed may have been a factor.
Listen to Local 10's podcast, The Florida Files, wherever you are, whenever you want. Just say, Alexa, play the Florida Files podcast.
Getting the latest episode of Florida Files. Here it is from TuneIn.
Previously on the Florida Files.
Or just ask Siri, I want to hear the latest Florida Files podcast.
Here's the newest episode of the Florida Files.
Get the Florida Files on Alexa, Google Home, or Apple devices just by saying play the Florida Files podcast. The Florida Files from the one and only Local 10.
A welcome surprise on Christmas Day for residents in Fort Lauderdale. City officials announcing that the sewage water leak caused by a broken pipe has finally been contained. The spillage had hundreds of thousands of gallons of filthy water creeping into homes and backyards in the Rio Vista neighborhood for more than 2 weeks. Crews say that they're still working on sealing a second leak in the sewer main right around that same canal. As breaking news happens, we have you covered on air and online. Head over to local10.com for more local news coverage and updates.